Hello everyone, welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. If you're new here, go ahead and click the live chat button. Feel free to introduce yourself, set any intentions for your well-being or healing or anything that you're working towards. We're going to get things started off by building a beautiful crystal grid exactly to all of your requests. And if you want to learn more about me, my live online Reiki certification classes, if you want to schedule a one-on-one distance healing or a tarot reading, or if you'd like to shop my Reiki charged crystals, head on over to learnreikiphiladelphia.com. It's linked in the description, as are all of my social media and my email newsletter. If you have made any crystal orders recently and you have not received them yet, they will be going out tomorrow morning. So just a heads up on that. Also, you will get emails probably later tonight with the tracking information. So thank you so much. And let's dive right in. Ta-da! So as usual, we're starting things off with a mirror here to help reflect any negative energy. This copper spiral is lovely for breaking up any blockages, getting the optimal flow of energy going. And I'm starting us off with a couple of crystals by requests that were emailed in. The first is moss agate. This is really helpful for any kind of infections in the body, whether it's bacterial, you're fighting off a virus. Also thought really helpful for connection with nature, connection to your inner child and higher self, and also feeling more connected to spirit and unconditional love. So that is moss agate. We also have a few pieces of pink tourmaline. This is helpful for every kind of gynecologic ailment one can have, as well as mother and newborn bonding. Helpful too for headaches, migraines, and nerve pain. And also wonderful for helping rebuild a more positive self-image. And last but certainly not least is peridot. Peridot is really helpful with moving through lots of different feelings that can be quite challenging, from guilt to anger to jealousy. Also really helpful with breaking habits, helping to shore up and strengthen really good friendships, as well as helping with anything having to do with the digestive tract. So that is peridot. So let's go ahead, let's say hi to everybody, and then let's get to building this beautiful grid. So yay, Hades the cat, Little Tree, good to see you both. Joanna Sparkles, Emmeline, welcome in. Creative Diva, welcome back. Flower, hi, how are you? Catherine, welcome in. Rebecca, welcome back. It's good to see you. Chris, how is Ava doing? Just see. Okay, looks so far good, I hope. Okay. Lila Ray, I hope you're doing well too. Yeah, awesome. Oh, okay, Chris can't watch now. You will when you get home. Okay, no worries. If you're hearing this, no worries. You can give me an update later. It's all good. I'm just glad to hear that, everything's good. Good enough. Let's dive on in. So let's go with Little Tree. You'd like some help for some stress. You got it. So let's dive in with some shungite and some smoky quartz. I know you like smoky quartz, and it's actually pretty helpful for this. So first of all, shungite is really helpful for moving out stress. This is also good for physical recovery. If you get injured, if you're recovering from surgery, it helps with healing of skin and tissue. But it's also really helpful for releasing stress, for emotional pain to be released, as well as energy blocks. It's a deep clearing for our energy field. And if you're someone who is particularly sensitive to electromagnetic fields, shungite might be really helpful. And it's actually also a really fantastic stone for clearing the physical body. There's a good chance that there's some shungite in your water filter system at home. It tends to absorb lots of different things out of water that can be not great for people. It's not like it'll make unpotable water potable. It's not magic. At the same time, it's helpful for absorbing some other different kinds of elements. The other one I'm bringing in is smoky quartz. This is really helpful with calming worry, as well as helping like release a lot of old stuck energy. It's also very protective. It's been used since at least the Middle Ages for protection of property. This was thought to ward off thieves. It also helps with transmuting energy, like it fundamentally changes it for the better. It also helps with hope with uncertainty. It's really supportive for like long-term chronic pain. And it's also helpful for flexibility of the mind and to some extent the body as well. So there you go. If you're trying to break out of any like rigid belief structures, this could be a really good stone to work with as well. So that is smoky quartz. So Little Tree, thank you for being here. I hope that helps. Awesome. And let's see what else we have here. And thank you for your patience today with running a little bit behind. This is the first Wednesday that I won't have like an I have to stop by this time kind of rule anymore. I moved my Wednesday evening Reiki classes to start at 6 p.m. starting this coming month. So yay. Which, by the way, Reiki 1 starts next week. It runs all 4 Wednesdays in January, except this one. So, but yeah, so we can take as long as we need to and get everyone's requests in. And I'm really excited about that. So, Emmeline, healing request for your bones. You got it. So we've got Herkimer and blue lace agate. Herkimer is exceptional for bones. This is great for everything from actually like bones and joints. We usually use it here for joint pain, but it's also helpful for the health of the bones. I have osteopenia, which is like a loss of bone density, and I've had some fractures because of it. And I work with this, and of course, nothing I do here is anything more than complementary. I don't feel like this is a replacement for any other kind of method. I take medicine, I take supplements, and I do the workouts. I do meditation, Reiki, crystals, all the things. Like what I do is a complement for everything. And I hope that this helps support whatever you're doing for your health. This is also thought to really help with like absorbing things like calcium and helping bone integrity, as well as helping things like healing fractures and even good for like acute issues like fractures, dislocations, things like that. It's also helpful for anger, resentment, and frustration. So there we go. That is howlite. And the next is blue lace agate, which is thought to help arthritis as well as bone fractures. It's also wonderful for the throat and throat chakra, but especially if anyone happens to be sick with anything like that's impacting their throat, like throat pain, scratchy throat. Also really helpful with expressing difficult emotions and for softening our words if we have to deliver bad news. Excellent for tension headaches and for like skin allergies, like mild kind of itchy skin allergies, as well as just everything that you would think of with the throat chakra. So communication and expression of things that are just really emotionally challenging to share. So that's blue lace agate. So I hope that that helps. All the best to you. And let's see who's next. And Catherine, healing request for a physical injury after a recent fall. Oh, I'm sorry. Definitely the howlite, the shungite, and the blue lace agate will help, but there's also emerald and epidote. Epidote's another one that's helpful for injuries and illnesses and like getting better afterwards. Also helpful for the nervous system as well as the skin. And this is one that can be really helpful as well when it comes to the way that we speak to ourselves, like our self-talk. This can help if you're setting any intention to start to speak to yourself a little bit better. This can really support that. It's also helpful for connecting with the fairy realm. And many folks report that it could be helpful for things like Parkinson's. So that is epidote. go. And emerald. Emerald is wonderful for healing skin and tissue. So this will be good for everything from scrapes to bruising to cuts and scratches, all of that good stuff. It's also really helpful for reigniting our passions in life, whether it's for work or hobbies that we're enthusiastic about if we just feel like kind of in a rut about them. Wonderful too for bronchitis, the lungs, the upper respiratory tract, and really the whole cardiopulmonary system. So if anyone's battling a cold or anything, this is a really helpful stone. Also wonderful for bringing back a lot of self-confidence about our appearance, especially in cases and in situations where where it's something that we're really particularly sensitive about. So that is emerald. So I hope that helps. Awesome. And feel better. Let's see, Rebecca. Energy for motivation, releasing stuck emotions, depression, self-doubt, and trauma. You got it. Oh, Flower, you had a vehicle break today. How to ground in the second level of your home. That's a good question, and I'll answer that in just a sec. Flower stones for mobility and fear. Gotcha. I can definitely support both of those. Hoping your car's okay. Grounding on the second level of your home. There's a lot of practices you can have for grounding. One is sitting upright on the floor and kind of sitting all the way up so you're like pushing your perineum into the floor. That might not be comfortable, or it might not be easy to get onto and off of the floor. I'm not sure of your mobility level. Another great way is soaking your feet or even taking a bath with Epsom salt, sea salt, or both together. That can really help. Epsom salt especially, it brings in like a lot of, but actually helps to absorb magnesium through your skin if you use an Epsom salt bath. But it can help to wick away a lot of the energy that you just don't need and let it go. Other stones that can help are things like shungite, red jasper, a lot of the darker stones, hematite, galena. Those stones are excellent for it. And other ways too, I find it easy to do if you are familiar at all with yoga, something called child's pose, where you're kind of like on the floor, stomach down, but you're on your shins and you can kind of put your arms in front of you. And in that pose, I modify it slightly and touch my third eye to the floor. And I find that helpful for grounding. Another one, and there's just one more I would recommend, look it up online, look it up on YouTube if someone has a tutorial. I'm sure someone does. And you can do what's called legs up the wall. Basically, there's no glamorous way to do it. You basically get on the floor, scoot all the way to the wall, and put your pelvis against the wall, basically your butt against the wall, and then kick your legs up. If you have difficulty with balance, or if you find it difficult to hold your legs up, using a yoga strap or even a belt just gently around like your thighs or knees to keep your legs together will help you stay up against the wall. But I find that to be really, really helpful for grounding, regardless of what floor I'm on. But let me know if any of those help or if you want any other ideas. But those, I feel like those can help. Also, you can just use a bag of Epsom salt without water in a pinch. I've done that. Even take like Ziploc bags of Epsom salt and put it in your shoes if you need to. That's helped me in a pinch. Okay, so Rebecca, let's see what we can bring in. Motivation, stuck emotions. I think I got a good one. Let's do some zebra jasper for that. Okay. There we go. There's a couple stones. So zebra jasper is super helpful when it comes to standing up for yourself and also stress and overwhelm. So this will also help little tree. This helps with also, this is helpful for bone disorders. So talk about all of the synchronicity today. So Evelyn, this will support you too. It helps with breaking through that stuckness, that like apathetic feeling, and gets you motivated again as well. Helpful too for being really empowering. It supports the muscular system. It's great for muscle spasms, and it's great for like if you just feel like in a rut, or if you're struggling to kind of go with the flow. So we will bring this in. So that again is zebra jasper. This is a beautiful gift to us from Chris. So thank you, Chris. There we go. For depression, there's a couple of stones that help. One that I found personally helpful, because I struggle with depression too, is aqua aura. Now this is a stone that did not naturally appear this way. This was clear quartz that was put through a process involving gold, which actually turns it this bright blue. And there's not a lot written about it. I only have my own experience to go by because they're fairly new, and a lot of folks don't want to work with like altered stones, which I kind of get, but I did find this really helpful for depression. So I'm going to add this in. I hope it's as helpful for you as it was for me. And like I said, I do all the other things. Full disclosure, I take antidepressants and stuff like that too, but everything that helps, I'll totally throw into the mix. Stuck emotions and self-doubt and trauma. Stuck emotions too, shungite's helpful. Black onyx helps with grounding fear and anxiety. And it also really helps to release self-doubt and boost your self-esteem and your sense of, your feeling of being capable, if that makes sense. It also helps with protection, like energetic protection, and it's very helpful for grief as well as connecting with your ancestors. Helpful too for actually protection against people who would play mind games. It's thought to be really helpful for that. So I hope you're not dealing with that, but if you are, I hope this is supportive. So that's black onyx. And for releasing trauma from the body, there's a couple stones, but my favorite is black obsidian. Black obsidian is usually, if it's naturally occurring, it's usually volcanic glass. And this is absolutely superb for dealing with trauma, PTSD, whether it's acute, like it just happened trauma, or if it's older trauma, or if it's older trauma that feels acute, like if it's been reactivated in some way. This can be really, really helpful. Helps too with being energetically protective. So on a subtle level, you might feel more just supported and protected and not quite alone and so vulnerable. Helps too with nervous pets as well as physical shock. So that is black obsidian. Awesome. And cool thing about black obsidian, it was only in like the 1980s, maybe the late 1970s, that we could work with steel to make it precise and thin enough and still sharp enough to do eye surgeries. They, up until at least the late 70s or early 80s, they exclusively used obsidian to make their scalpels for that. And in some cases, they still do use obsidian. They probably use a man-made obsidian, but who knows, they might use natural. But yeah, it's super fascinating. Yeah, because it's glass, and so it's great for being made really sharp. So I hope that helps. All the best to you, Rebecca. You're welcome, Tammy. All the best to you. Hey, Susu. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that Dexter's still struggling. Oh, Dara, I will absolutely support that. And Samantha. Oh, Rebecca, you're welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so let's bring in... Where did I leave off? I'm going to bring in some more of Chris's too, but I'll bring in that leopard skin jasper first, as well as desert rose selenite, both for Patty and for Dexter and for Ava. So desert rose selenite is one of the stones that's really great for healing with animals, but it's also helpful for fighting off viruses, clearing the skin, especially things like acne and eczema. It's thought helpful. Wonderful for finding a place to live, as well as processing any paperwork around like real estate. Helpful too for redefining ourselves after a big loss or a big change, and also really helpful for the repeated, consistent steps that get us on the path that we want to be on. So all the things that we need to do in our larger plan. Helpful too for perseverance with schooling and training, as well as relieving upset stomach and tummy troubles. So that is desert rose selenite. And next we'll bring in some leopard skin jasper. That's our other stone that works really well for animal healing. So leopard skin jasper, in addition to animal healing, wonderful for attracting love, like a soulmate type relationship. Really helpful too for anything impacting the skin, as well as helping support really good balance and coordination. So let's bring this in. So that's a leopard skin jasper. There we go. Oop, I dropped one. Okay. Awesome. So all the best to Dexter too. And I'm going to keep going. So let's see. Clear mind and heart. Let's bring in So the first one I want to bring out for clearing heart and mind for Dara is going to be malachite. Malachite's lovely for helping move really difficult emotions through the heart center without getting like stuck in an unhelpful side of grieving and feeling our feelings. Helpful too for things like depression, anxiety, pain, and inflammation, as well as it's thought to help with seizures, as well as arthritis. Sorry, that's the word I was thinking of. And it's also great for just in general being able to feel your feelings in a way that feels a little bit more easy and a little bit less vulnerable. So that is malachite. So that can really help clear the heart, like processing those really difficult things. Another one to help with the heart is pink kunzite. And this one helps with not only like releasing heartache and heartbreak, but also helping to attract commitment-based love. And it's a wonderful stone of compassion for yourself and others. Helpful too for sleepless babies, embracing motherhood, as well as nerve pain and chemical sensitivities, especially like itchy skin kind of reactions. It also helps with hormones. So that is pink kunzite. But yeah, that's a great love stone, a great stone of the heart center. Also want to bring in snowflake obsidian. This helps with balancing body, mind, and spirit, as well as calming overstimulation. It's wonderful for inner peace, inner harmony, as well as releasing any feelings of guilt. Helpful too for the intuitive guidance that we hear, which is also called clairaudience, and wonderful too for opening up to hope after any kind of loss. And as far as calming the mind specifically, my first instinct is Herkimer. So Herkimer diamond can help boost anything that you're manifesting, as well as boost your intuition and your feelings of connection to spirit. Also really helpful for relaxation and being in the present moment. It kind of slows us down and lets us rebalance a little bit. Also really helpful for harmonizing discordant energy in a space or among people or within ourselves. And helpful too for metabolism. So that is Herkimer diamond. So I feel like this will probably help the clearing mind and like being present. So all the best to you. I'm so glad you're here, and that's an awesome intention. I'm always struggling to clear my mind. It's something I find challenging. But I hope that helps. And Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, so Dexter's having an eye issue, so let's bring in an eye stone. And an intention to amplify your new mantra, love, light, gratitude. I love that. Herkimer is one that can help with that to some extent, as well as snowflake obsidian. But let's also, this could help. There we go. So first, aventurine is helpful for the eyes as well as allergies. And it's really helpful for lifting our vision of ourselves and what we're capable of. It's like helps us lift the idea of our potential and our soul's potential in a large way. If you're someone who struggles with, I feel like I can't do that, that's too hard, I'm not up to task. This might be one that helps encourage you and think like, maybe I am up to it. It's also really helpful for heart rhythms and, like I said, allergies and eye problems. Also fertility. So that's green aventurine. So I hope that helps Dexter's eyes. As far as your mantra, I've got a couple of fun ones. So there we go. First is shungite. So shungite is this beautiful purple specimen. So pretty. It's really deep purple, this particular specimen. It can look a little different specimen to specimen. Sorry, sugilite. I may have said shungite. Sugilite. Sugilite is it's usually harvested in Russia or thereabouts, which is a big part of why I don't know of too many other places it is found. So that might be a big part of, that's one of the reasons it's so expensive, but it is a fairly pricey stone, so I only have a little piece. This helps with connection to unity consciousness. So the concept that we're all interconnected and that what we put out into the universe, we ultimately put out into ourselves too. So it's very much the awareness of spiritual self and spiritual connection of others. So very much very much crown and soul star type chakra stuff. So yeah, so that is Sujolite. And the other one that makes me kind of say that feels right is Angelite. Angelite helps with, surprise, surprise, connection to our angels and connection to our spirit guides, as well as feeling connected to source and spirit, however you want to phrase that, however you view it. It's excellent for spiritual protection, and it can also help enhance your experience if you're receiving any kind of sound healing. But yeah, Angelite is really helpful if you have that. Like the mantra itself is really beautifully worded. Love, light, and gratitude. I feel like Angelite and Herkimer, Snowflake Obsidian, yeah, really, really helpful for that. And Sujolite, definitely. So let's go ahead and put Angelite here and here. Angelite can look radically different if it is not tumbled. So these are tumbled, so they're run through with like sand and grit and things like that, which sand it down. What it looks like when it's harvested is usually kind of like, it almost looks like white powder. And then when you get really close, you crack it open, you see that it's this beautiful light blue. So the practice of polishing really changes its appearance. So that is Angelite. I hope that helps you. I love that mantra. All the best to you and Greg and Dexter and your whole animal family. I'm so glad that was helpful for you, Rebecca. And let's see, Samantha. Heart chakra, heart pain, TMJ, neck and back pain, car protection, stress-free workspace, harmony at work, and warding off the evil eye. Absolutely. So for those of you who may not have been here before, or maybe just once or twice, there's always a lot of harmony and overlap in the requests. Like our initial, on the outside, what we're asking these intentions for may look completely different in our personal lives, but the themes between them, if ever there was a need to like believe in things like astrology, just watch this for a couple of sessions, because every time we do this, there's so much overlap in the intentions, and that's why it seems so like overlapping. So for protection from the evil eye, I've got 2 stones for that. One is red tiger eye. Red tiger eye is very, very protective spiritually and physically in the real world. So whether you have a mundane like bully, someone walking up to you and being a bully, or if it's like malevolent spiritual work, this helps keep that at bay. Also really helpful for manifesting financial abundance with quickness. So yeah, if you need financial abundance quickly, which flower, I hope you don't. I hope that the car is an easy fix, but just in case, there's this. So that is red tiger eye. And jet. Jet is a powerful one for warding off the evil eye, paranormal stuff, any kind of nasty energy. It's also really helpful for processing grief, as well as just any kind of big loss of anything, but especially of people and the animals we care about. This is wood that's been fossilized through very intense heat, usually a volcano. And so it's a really strange feeling stone, but it's really good with that whole like sudden shift into something else kind of mode. So that is jet. It's also a wonderful stone for anyone that does any work in hospice, or if you're doing hospice care for someone you love or care about, jet's a great option. So let's put that here and here. Okay, good stuff. So that'll help there. Lots of heart chakra requests. Let's do rose quartz as well as green onyx, And we'll also do bloodstone. So first is rose quartz, and we're all familiar with rose quartz. It's a pretty common stone, but it's a really powerful stone too. This is a stone that can really elevate your heart-centered energies, and it can help anytime that you feel emotionally empty or emotionally vacant. This can help to replenish and restore a lot of heart-centered energy. It's also really helpful if you have intentions on shifting into higher states of relationship. If you have issues with like self-worth, this can really help you over time to see your value, your worth, and your inherent lovability. So that is rose quartz. Let's put this under the onyx. Or sorry, obsidian. There we go. I'm also going to bring in, speaking of onyx, green onyx. This is great for grief, sadness, and also loneliness. It helps with really intense emotional like heaviness, emotional shutdown even. But this is one that can help you to make decisions and move forward despite being in emotional pain. So that is green onyx. Green onyx can look a little bit different. Like this is a really dark green. Usually you'll see green onyx as like a light, almost like a pistachio color. And oftentimes you'll even find like dinnerware sets and wine goblets made out of the lighter green onyx. Here we go. And bloodstone, which also goes by the name heliotrope in some parts of the world. Especially the UK tends to call it heliotrope. But this is one that's also one of my favorite emotional stuff hits the fan stones. It's a really deep green with little tiny bits of red in it. And it helps with lifting despair as well as providing a lot of emotional like stamina if you're going through something that's really hard and takes a while to process. It can help to relieve self-doubt, which definitely seems like that's kind of a theme that's been coming up the last several days, as well as helping to calm the mind, especially while meditating. And I know calming the mind was definitely an intention today. So I feel like this is a really good bet. Also, like, you know, relieving self-doubt, having some self-esteem, this can help with that too. So that is bloodstone or heliotrope. We'll bring that in, and I hope that helps with the heart centers. Look at all of this green in here. I can make this a social media post for St. Patrick's Day. There's so much green. Hey, Lisa. Oh, you're welcome, Sue. Awesome. And let's see, what else did you have in here? So neck and stuff. Definitely we had the joint one. We had howlite there already. I want to bring in amazonite. This helps the spine and spinal nerves. And it's also excellent for self-care, especially for folks who tend to think of everyone before themselves, which is oftentimes the people who show up here. So y'all are my people. We need some amazonite. Amazonite helps with self-respect, self-care, and realizing that you not only need but really deserve the same caliber of care that you would show someone else. Like I said, also helpful for the spine and spinal nerves. I work with this a lot because I have a lot of nerve issues from my spine and into my legs. And it's also wonderful for just calming and also for luck, things like winnings. But yeah, this is one of my favorite things to suggest when someone says, hey, what do I get my friend that's a nurse or my friend that takes care of everybody else? It's like amazonite. Definitely amazonite. There we go. So awesome. And protection from your car is, or for your car, smoky quartz is in here. That protects things from theft, and stress-free peace of mind is definitely a common request today. Shungite will help with releasing and relieving stress as well as some of the other ones we had too. This zebra jasper is great for like overwhelming stress. So yeah, so that is there. So good to see you, Samantha. Hope all's going well. And Creative Diva requests protection from being entangled in certain matters, being pulled into certain situations that don't benefit you. Got you. Request for peace, time, and clarity to come to a solution at your own pace. I love that. I love that. That's a really like well-worded request to the universe. That's a beautiful thing. So let's do peace, time, clarity. Definitely Snowflake Obsidian is helpful with inner peace, clarity, letting go of a lot. That's very helpful. Definitely yellow calcite. Okay. So first off, for helping like not getting swept into other people's stuff, yellow calcite can be really helpful. So this is one that gives a lot of confidence and boosts your sense of self, your solar plexus, which is the center of self-identity and your wants, needs, and desires. It's like what separates you from everyone else. This is a great one for boundaries, both with setting them and with holding them. And it's also helpful with just any kind of blockages around self-identity and putting yourself first. And wonderful for letting go of any feelings of like a need for approval from others, if that's a factor. And wonderful to like set your priorities first, like to set your priorities based around what's important to you, not everyone else. So this can help. It's also really optimistic too. So that's yellow calcite. And next one I wanted to bring in, so that helps with the solar plexus. One that helps with the sacral, and so the center of relationships, is carnelian. So this can help relationships broadly speaking, not just romantic ones, but of course this helps romantic ones. This is everything from fertility and creativity to sexuality and sexual health and fertility, as well as colds, allergies, healing wounds. But this is just in general how we relate to others. So whether it's a workspace, whether it's one-on-one kind of relationships, this can really help with that. It also helps with attracting like a soulmate relationship. So that's carnelian. And I would have called in one of the protective stones if there weren't so many here already. Like definitely like a red tiger eye can really help with like folks that can kind of push boundaries or be manipulative. So that can be helpful. I'm also going to bring in aquamarine, which is also one that Patty would request if she were here, but this is a great one for your request. This helps with deflecting really like petty, immature kinds of behavior, just kind of keeping it at bay. And it's also wonderful for forgiveness. Helpful too with like a may justice prevail kind of vibe. Wonderful too for the teeth, gums, and circulation of fluids in the body. So that is aquamarine. So let's bring that in. So I hope that that helps. Yeah, definitely don't need those. Definitely don't need boundary pushers. Nope, nope, nope. Awesome. Love it. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. And let's see. Oh, Lisa, good to see you. I hope your mom's doing okay. Continue support for mom's infection, sister's sight, brother's heart and lungs, and for everyone's joints. And for you, the difficult job problem. Gotcha. And also I realized I forgot the request by, hey, Patty, we put a couple stones in there for you. Glad you're here. I also realized I forgot Flower's request. Mobility and fear. Let's see. That's mobility. Let's, for some reason, I feel to bring in Sunstone for you, Flower. One of the things that this stone can do is help with help keep at bay anyone that would be manipulative around money. So I hope that you have a good person that you know to help you fix it if need be. But Sunstone is also helpful for lots of other things. This is great for, protection against anyone that would exploit or manipulate around money. And also helpful for luck and recognition. This helps with career opportunities as well as support with phobias, and helps with, like, if you're marketing yourself as a small business owner, or if you are marketing yourself as someone in the job market, this can be a really helpful stone. It helps you to kind of stand out above the crowd. So we will bring this in. So that's Sunstone. For mobility, I'm going to bring you... Not quite sure where that went. Oh, here it goes. There we go. I got polychrome jasper. This helps with all of the lower body joints as well as movement and mobility. It motivates you to want to get moving, but it also helps your physical body to do that. It helps with a lot of confidence as well as, like I said, joint health. But it also helps with reinvigorating our passions for things in our life. So if you feel kind of like in a rut or kind of stuck, whether physically or emotionally, this can be a helpful stone. So this is polychrome jasper. It's also really helpful when it comes to the Earth Star chakra. The Earth Star chakra is beneath the root, and that has to do with enacting our soul's desires. So basically taking our soul's purpose and being able to show up in right action and do the things we need to do to embrace it. So that is polychrome jasper. And let's see, what do we feel like for fear? Feeling like the smoky quartz will cover that, but yeah, I feel like that should cover it. Let me know if there's something else I can add, or if you feel like something's missing, Flower. And let's do... Okay, cool. Absolutely, Patty. So glad you're here. Let's also get getting things done, keeping energy for your lifestyle. Definitely polychrome jasper will help that too. For getting things done, let's do some garnet and some ruby. Garnet definitely helps with getting things done. This is like a big kind of top-down review stone of like, okay, how do I get this done in the least amount of time possible, but still get everything done correctly? It helps with organization, creativity, and practicality. It also adds a lot of courage too, and it brings a lot of strength in any kind of like times of change or times of difficulty. So that's garnet, which is January's birthstone. Ruby helps with the courage to be yourself. Also helps with that. This is one I think actually will also help flower. So yeah, so this one will help both of you. So this is good courage to be yourself, leadership and management qualities and skills, helping to support those. Wonderful for love, fertility, and it's very supportive of fibromyalgia pain. Helps too with releasing fear, like I said, for flower, as well as stopping nightmares, bringing in financial stability, and helping with making decisions. So I love using ruby and garnet together. I feel like they complement each other really well. So we've got those in for you. And for eyes, we have aventurine in there. For infection, moss agate is already in there. Brothers, heart and lungs. Heart is going to be aquamarine, but I'll also bring in unakite. Yeah, heart and lungs, rhodonite. So unakite definitely helps the heart and circulation, where aventurine helps heart rhythms. So you've got kind of your bases covered there. It also helps with metabolism as well as women's health for every stage of life, from fertility through prenatal, postpartum, onset of menses, menopause, all of the above. Also really helpful for just good marriage, good relationships, and really thought to be helpful for addictions, particularly smoking. And I know a few of you are really working hard on that. So unakite it is. So let's bring that here and here. And rhodonite will be very helpful for the lungs, as is emerald. But rhodonite is helpful too for asthma, autoimmune anything, and allergies, all of which are me. Definitely wonderful for overcoming breakups, healing the cracks of a broken heart, so you can open your heart once again. Helpful too for healing the impacts of past emotional abuse, and it helps with working through insecurities. So that's rhodonite. There we go. And so, yeah. Everyone's joints howlites in there. Keeping energy and your lifestyle balanced. Let's bring in some bumblebee jasper. I know I could use some bumblebee jasper. This one helps with mental focus and physical energy. It's also wonderful for boosting manifestation, making decisions, and in general just feeling like that sense of like being capable of like, let's tear into this job, let's get it done, let's get it over with. And whether you're working alone or in collaboration with others, it'll really help support like the job getting done. Also wonderful for just positivity, motivation, and most of all, confidence. Bumblebee jasper does have large amounts of sulfur as well as arsenic, so do be careful with this one. So that is bumblebee jasper. I'm so glad to see you, Lisa. All the best to you and your family. So Patty, we've got red tiger's eye and sugilite, desert rose selenite already in there. We've also got epidote in there and some amazonite in there. So let's get some of your requests in there. So let's do, hey, future someone, Carawhite. I don't have Carawhite. I'm so sorry. I used to. Oh, and that's a hard one to get right now too. You're so welcome, Lisa. Is there anything else I can grab you, future someone? Or is there a certain intention that you had with it? Maybe I have another crystal. Okay, so Patty also wanted sodalite, tree agate, fuchsite. Fuchsite, Septarian, chevron. Yeah, and I got everything else. So Septarian is very helpful for the solar plexus as well. So this is also one that's going to be good for boundaries and standing on your own 2 feet, self-identity, and prioritizing your wants, needs, and desires. It's also really helpful for being supportive while you do like some personal work, shadow healing, like going to the parts of ourselves where we have to see the parts of ourselves we don't like the most in order to deal with the underlying causes, reasons, habits, beliefs that are underpinning it. This helps with that. Also helpful with just emotional growth and maturity in general, as well as muscle spasms and skin healing. So we will bring this in. That is Septarian. Tree agate is sacred in Ayurveda. And this one just happened to come to me as a piece of raw shaped like a heart. So of course, I had to keep this for us. This helps with balancing the flow of energy throughout the body, from chakras all the way down to the tiniest, like almost little tributaries of energy needed throughout the body. It's thought to balance imbalances regardless of the cause or the nature or what's needed to bring it back into place. So it's used throughout Ayurveda, and it was also used by the ancient Greeks. It was thought to boost the harvest of plants. Wonderful too for noticing any negative habits and patterns to leave them behind. Helpful in making new connections and in finding inner peace, dissolving ego, or at least putting ego in balance. But it also calms the emotional as well as the physical nerves. So that is tree agate. So let's put that there, right over our sugilite. Fuchsite helps with fun and joy and really just allowing ourselves to enjoy fun for the sake of it, which can be really restorative. It helps with inner child work as well as just your sense of play. And it can be a wonderful stone to help work through things like burnout. Helpful too for sleep issues and spinal alignment as well as carpal tunnel. So that's fuchsite. So let's bring that in. Sodalite is excellent for communication and expression. So this is whether you're speaking, writing, performing, singing, dancing, however it is you express yourself. This really helps to like open up that throat chakra and get your message out. It's wonderful too for relieving menopause symptoms and for grounding impulses, as well as dealing with homesickness and helping to kind of ground that a little bit. So we will bring in sodalite. Let's bring that in. Let's bring that in around here. There we go. And chevron amethyst helps with any kind of degenerative ailments, like whether it's like degenerative disc disease, degenerative bone issues, like neurodegenerative, like something like Parkinson's or MS. Chevron amethyst is talking about the lines within it that if these specimens were larger, they would actually be making a chevron pattern. This helps to connect with spirit. It helps to bring up your messages, and it helps you to better hear the messages coming back. And it's wonderful for visionary experiences, clairvoyance. So if you're someone that does scrying, or use it, or shamanic journeying, or anything that uses your spiritual sight, chevron amethyst can help boost that. So let's bring that in. Let's see. A little out of sync here, so let me just reorganize a bit. Got ahead of myself there, sorry. Awesome. There we go. Awesome, awesome. Hey, Vic. Lapis, you got it. Still not still. Hey, good to see you. Lisa, you're so welcome. Patty, you're so welcome. And yeah, let's do lapis for future someone. Lapis. And for Vic, we have lepidolite. Carnelian is already in there. Herkimer diamond is already in there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you'd like. Let me know if there is anything else you'd like. Let's bring in lepidolite. This is lithium mica. Yes, lithium, like the batteries and like the mental health prescriptions. This is used as a prescription in the US since like the 1940s. It was used by the ancient Greeks, but used internally can have varied effects on different people. For some folks, it actually does the opposite. So don't DIY this as much as there's lots of YouTube videos telling you to do that. I don't recommend it. Definitely just hang out with the crystal. Put it in your pocket, carry it around, put it in a place that's meaningful to you. Go on Etsy, find like a pendant or a piece of jewelry that you particularly like with it. It's wonderful for helping to soothe, calm, and understand the emotions, bring attention to any kind of patterns that need to be released or anything that needs to be addressed. And it's great with discernment, but you don't have to take it internally. So if you are through like, you know, a prescriber, awesome. But I know people that try to DIY it. I personally can't caution against that enough. But it is really beautiful, that beautiful purple. You may also see it as like sometimes it's sold less in the mica form and more in like what almost looks like a purple gummy. And it is a rock. Yeah, but it can look that way too. Lapis lazuli is really, really helpful with career opportunities, honest, open communication, as well as help for inner ear stuff from vertigo to hearing loss. Also for integrity, living up to your commitments, and taking personal responsibility. Helpful too for aiding disorganization. If you have any intentions around getting more organized, lapis can be really helpful, as can garnet. So we'll bring that in. Good to see you, future someone. Okay, good stuff. Hey, Renee. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. This is the first time I'm wearing this. Before Christmas sales. Yay. But thank you. I appreciate that. Let me know if there's anything I could put in the grid for you. And azurite, peacock ore, and then chrysos stones, and then we're going to get into the healing. So azurite is excellent for creativity as well as insight, intuition, and just opening up spiritually. Helps too with relieving indecision and helping to release a lot of worry. Wonderful for spiritual connection, connection with your guides, and gaining wisdom through your spiritual connections and your intuition. Also really helpful for dissolving obstacles and blockages, as well as calming the mind during meditation, during energy work, helping spinal alignment, and also muscle spasms and tics, things like that. So that is azurite. Peacock ore or chalcopyrite, an excellent stone of rebirth. If you have been getting things like the Death and Fool and things like that in tarot, definitely grab this stone. This will be a really big help. It's also really helpful for the neurodivergent folks, whether you have PTSD like I do, or if you have ADHD or are on the spectrum or anything. This can be a lovely stone for kind of organizing, like thinking big level tasks. It's called executive function. So if that's something you struggle with, chalcopyrite or peacock ore can be particularly helpful. And let's go back up to Chris's request, see what we haven't gotten yet. Blue apatite can be really helpful for developing a more healthy relationship with food, whether that involves weight loss, weight gain, or just a shift in the role food plays in your life. Whatever the case may be, this can help support that in a really healthy way. Also wonderful for inner peace and inner harmony, strengthening your energy field. So if you're empathic, this will help you to be less inclined to taking on the energy of others. And it's also really helpful with getting to know your soul's purpose and having the confidence to act on it and bring it forward. So that is blue apatite. There we go. As well as sapphire, selenite, moonstone, and rutilated, and yeah, so we're good. So rutilated, which is clear quartz with these what look like little wispy hairs in them. Rutilated quartz is thought to help focus healing energy wherever it needs to be in the body. It's also helpful for focusing the mind. Also wonderful for boosting energy in the body, especially if you've been really run down or if you're just getting over having been ill or injured. So put that in here. So that's rutilated quartz. Moonstone is really helpful for connecting to the rhythms, patterns, and cycles of nature, especially lunar cycles, because obviously moonstone. But it's also helpful for anything that would be represented by the high priestess in the tarot deck. So that would be wisdom, especially spiritual wisdom and healing wisdom, protective of especially women, but anyone who's traveling especially as well. Also really helpful for women's health and connection to the divine feminine, as well as intuition and gaining wisdom and knowledge through intuitive arts. Also helpful for learning old healing remedies as well as old spiritual techniques. So we will bring this in. That is moonstone. So let's go ahead and put that under the blue apatite. Go. This is standard selenite. Selenite is helpful for connecting with your guides and angels and also clearing your energy field as well as the energy field of anything that touches it or even a room that it's in. You can actually put your crystals on selenite to clear their energy. Just make sure you don't put selenite in water. And sapphire. Sapphire is a very potent stone of channeling, of intuition, connection with your angels, mediumship, really high level intuitive stuff. Helpful too for the thyroid, ears, and eyes, as well as dementia And anyone who does channeling or mediumship for other folks, this can help you to find the best words to share your experiences so that your querent can have a good experience and understand where you're coming from. So there you go. That's sapphire. So let's put that around. There we go. Awesome. And let's there we go. So let's go ahead and see. I think we got everyone. Yeah, we did. Thank you so much for inspiring this beautiful crystal grid. I'm going to do the thing that I do where I explain what Reiki is, how it works, and how to make the most of your healing. While I do that, you can help me lift the energy of the space that you are in. Just take a deep breath in and out, and when you're ready, think about all of the things that you're grateful for. And if you're up to it, go ahead and click that live chat button and add them into the chat. It lifts energy faster than anything else. It's super simple and it works. And once I finish this description, we're going to get into the Reiki session, and I'll send you some healing wherever you happen to be. Aw. Thank you, Renee. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name's Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. And if you want to learn more about my live online Reiki certification classes, if you want to schedule a one-on-one healing session or tarot reading, or if you want to shop my Reiki charged crystals, head on over to learnreikiphiladelphia.com. You can schedule online visits, you can schedule in-person visits in Philly, but you can also schedule Zoom visits. And in the description below, you can find a link to my website as well as all my social media and my email newsletter. So what is Reiki? Well, specifically, I work with Usui Reiki. Reiki has become more or less a catch-all term in the West for energy healing. And specifically, being that I work with Usui Reiki, this method was created by Mikao Usui in the early 1920s in Japan, during a time where teaching anything that could even remotely be misunderstood as coming from a religion had some pretty serious consequences. So this particular method is deeply spiritual, yet really secular. So it's a lovely kind of twist on this, and I feel like that's why people in the West love Usui's methodology so much. So to understand what the energy component is at the foundation of Usui's method, for that we're best to look at Shintoism, the indigenous spirituality of Japan that is still hugely impactful on their culture today. And in this system, everyone and everything is interconnected, and the spiritual energy, or spirit as you define it, provides this life-sustaining energy. Reiki translates in Japanese to spiritually guided soul energy, and it's thought that this energy supports your body, mind, and spirit to do all of the healing and have all of the resilience that they already do, and that this energy is already flowing through us all the time, whether or not we're aware of it. And our body, mind, and spirit apply it accordingly. Essentially, what I'll be doing during this session is connecting with that energy that's already flowing through all of us and direct more of it to you, thus allowing your body, mind, and spirit to do the best work in your highest good. During the session, you may feel some physical sensations, some emotions may rise up or get released. Mentally, you may have an opportunity to hear your subconscious or just sort of think some things through. And spiritually, you may get some intuitions, some clarity, some intuitions, whatever might come up for you. You may also have a beautiful healing nap, and that is honestly amazing. If you get that opportunity, take it. But more than likely, your unique session will probably be the perfect combination of all of those. The good news is, to receive it, you only need to be open to it. And by being here, you already are. So you don't need to do anything. You don't need to keep your mind silent or quiet. You don't need to focus on anything. I generally suggest that you find a nice place that's comfortable for you, sitting up, laying down. You can close your eyes if you'd like, but you can also move around. You know, if you want to do some yoga stretches, if you want to get up and get a cup of tea or grab that blanket, you certainly can. That's not going to stop the Reiki. You can also journal or write music, play music, whatever kind of strikes your fancy. There's no wrong way to use this time. I will send this healing to you for 25 minutes, during which time I will turn the lights down. You'll notice that they'll move slowly and gently from one color to the next. At no point will they flash or strobe. And I'll turn the music up. If you'd like to learn more about our musical creator, she's linked at the bottom of the description. So you can check out her channel and also check out her website if you want to enjoy some of her music on your own. So thank you so much for being here. At the end of that 25-minute session, you'll hear my voice come back in. I'll invite you to take a few deep breaths. And at that point, I'll be able to re-engage with you through chat. So you can ask me any questions about your experience or share anything you felt was, noteworthy. And then we'll go ahead and call it a day. And know that, too, if you're here live, you can always enjoy a Reiki session anytime you need it. Just check out our past healing playlist. And reason being, Reiki is not limited to my limitations as a human being. I can only be in one place at one time, not true of Reiki. So whenever you're watching this video, the energy will be here for you. And I am here live 5 times a week, same days, same times. You can see those listed in the description. And definitely hit that like button and definitely subscribe with the notifications on if you want to come back. So let's go ahead over, take a closer look at that grid and dive into the healing. Yay! Ooh, pretty. It's a little extra stretched out in one direction, which is this direction. So let's see what I can do. And I love all of those intentions. There we go. Oh, I think we look good. There we go. Not perfect, but what is? Cookies! This cold weather makes you want some cookies. Little treat too. Yeah. Oh, thank you all for so many beautiful things in the chat. Grateful your sister is friends with a mechanic. That's amazing. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Flower. Awesome. Awesome, Chris. Lots of love. Lots of love to Eva and to Dexter and to Hattie and Gertie and all our animal companions. The little babies are finally getting comfortable, like, in my bed. It took them a while to, like, get comfortable with the idea of cuddling in my bed. It's almost like, oh, that's your space. We're not allowed to be there, which was weird. But they're finally like, oh, we can just nap on your bed near this heater. Okay, so that's why you haven't seen them lately. So everyone enjoy your session. And if at any point in time you need to like reconnect with the energy, or if you want to go a little deeper, or if you get distracted, just deep breath in and out, and the Reiki will do the rest. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly come back to your body. If you need to stretch or bend, just listen to your body. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions or anything to share, I invite you to use the chat. An honor and a privilege to share this energy with all of you. Thank you for being here. Oh, little tree, you're welcome so much. Thank you for being here. You're welcome, Chris. If it's any consolation, I heard Gertie, the little kitty, snoring from the living room for a little while. I have to get her snore on recording for you all. You're welcome, Chris. You're welcome, Lisa. So my next streams will be Friday at 4 p.m. and again at 8 p.m. All of those are East Coast US time, and I'm here 5 times a week, same days, same times every week. Oh, you're welcome, Sue. Oh, thank you, Flower. You're so welcome. If you haven't hit that like button, if you wouldn't mind, it super helps on the YouTube algorithm end. Yes, and thank you everyone for all of your love and concern for one another. It's like the most beautiful thing about leading this is seeing all of you care so much about one another. Oh no, I'm sorry, Rue. Well, the good news is once I end the stream, you can start it from the beginning. Well, you can actually back it all the way up to start from the beginning now if you want, but I'm sorry. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And I don't know if anyone needs to hear this. If you're still waiting on an outstanding crystal order, they are all shipping tomorrow. Priority mail, so you will have them quick. Awesome. Everyone, all the best to you. And yeah, actually this week it's an odd week that I don't teach a Reiki class right after the stream. Starting next week, my Reiki classes actually start at 6, so we won't have to like rush through to finish at 5:30 anymore. And there is still just like 2 spaces left in that Reiki 1 class that starts next week. You can learn more at learnreikiphiladelphia.com. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here with an abundance of gratitude for all of you. Thank you. I'm going to go and play with the cats. Oh, you're so welcome, Catherine. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. So everyone enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you happen to be. And I hope to see you all again soon. Take care and bye for now.